Alright, so I got this whole wall insulated. The wiring is finished for this side for now. There will just be a little gap at the top there for tucking wires in later. So the side panel's ready to go on. I actually insulated all the way down and along the top. And then I left this part because that's actually going to be where I run a lot of the wiring is down here. So this will be a separate piece. And again, there'll be a backsplash there, so you won't see the joint anyway. Yeah, so now I just need to cut up the panels and get this wall mounted. Okay, so obviously got that wall insulated, got the wall panel up. The goal from here is I was going to work on the back. I still have quite a bit of wiring to do there. So I think I'm either going to start framing out the cabinet for there or the divider wall here. Most likely that cabinet, just so I can get a feel for how high the bed's going to be and make sure that that's all good. All right, so I spent an hour, built a temporary countertop. It is the height that I'm going to use for my real countertops. I'm just sick of putting shit on the ground, so I built this to put some stuff on, tools and shit, and to work from. Once the new countertops get here, I'll build those out. What I'm going to do is probably just put another block of wood in there, put a panel over that, make it look nice, and edge that. This is a permanent piece. This seals off from the box. I need to do the same along the top. Shouldn't be too hard. I might even just leave it and see how tall the cabinets are to put back in here. They might be exactly the right height to go in there. Yeah, once I get a little bit more done, I should be sweet. I need to get all the other stuff so I can get this wall up and do the counters on the other side. Alright guys, what's going on? It's been a few days. I did box out these wheel arches. It's just 3/4 ply. Used some pocket hole screws to hold them in, and then screwed through the wheel arches just to bolt them down. They're super sturdy, they're not going anywhere. Picked out our flooring. It wasn't the one we wanted, it was the closest to the one we wanted. No one had it. So pro tip, if you want to get the right flooring, order it in advance. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to come in. Me being in a rush, I didn't have that option. So goal is for today to do the floor. I'm going to do these boxes. I have some stripping to put along here and that side and along the bottom. So once the floor's in, I got some glue. Once it's glued down and good to go. I did fill the holes. This one's going to be covered. There's going to be a box that comes out, so I don't care about that one. But all the other ones that are in like the walkway, I filled with a piece of wood and then some wood putty. That one, I just put some expander foam in and I'll cut it down just before I lay the plastic. There is a sheet underneath as well, like an aluminum sheet I drilled up to it just to stop the weather getting in. Yeah, that's it. Okay, most of the floor's done. See a couple little bumps here. I might just keep trying to roll them out, but I sat there for probably 45 minutes trying to roll the floor flat and it just didn't want to do it. Every time I leant on it, it just bubbled up again. So I got the worst of it, which is right there. That's going to be the walkway, so I got that pretty flat, leveled out, and then this stuff's all going to have building on top of it anyway. Just use some little trims for the tops. I need to get another one for the bottom there. I'm going to rebuild that at a 3/4 ply as well, just so it looks uniform. Yeah, that's really it for today. Probably go to the hardware store, pick up some more stuff. This week I'm probably going to build the box for the base for the fridge, which will also be the base for the slide out for the bed. This corner, honestly, like, I need to get this livable and then I'll worry about the kitchen and this corner. It's not a priority right now. I should get it done in time, but for now I'm focusing on the bed and the fridge so that we can at least live out of it while I finish off the kitchen and the bathroom is going to go there, if I ever get around to that as well. Kind of built a little drawer that's going to go under there for like shoes and stuff. And then the piece of the wall that you see missing, that's because that's where all the electrical is going to run. And we're going to have our 300 amp hour lithium batteries here. The inverter will be just above it, and then the bed will be above that. That's why that wall's missing. I'm going to build an entire dividing wall here, just as a backrest for our seats. The way I'm going to set the seats up is a bit different to everyone else, so once that's done, it'll make sense. Alright, so I just wanted to do a bit of a quick update. All I've really done is built out that box there, and put up that one wall panel. So it's been a slow couple of weeks. I'm sorry for not uploading any videos. The goal now is to get the last of this wiring done. It is actually snowing outside a little bit, so I want to get the last of this wiring done. I've got my heat in here just to keep me warm. The goal for today was to actually start building all the rest of the furniture for in here. That's not going to happen, so this is what I'm tackling today. I did also actually take all the old inverter and stuff out of there. Just some little odd jobs. I haven't really done much. Alright, so trying to stay warm. It's actually snowing now instead of raining. Started building the base frame for my chair. It was kind of a pain in the ass, actually. You can kind of see the idea I'm going for. It's going to be very big. I wanted a lot of storage in this rig, so that's why it's so big. There's also another reason. We're going to put a wall here with all the controls and everything on it, as well as some extra storage on some shelves. So it's not going to all be a chair. It's probably going to be about to where the wall is, will be a wall. It'll be about 4 or 5 inches deep, and then this will be like an 18-19 inch chair. I have measured it. I do just fit sideways, but that's not the direction I will be sitting in it mostly. And once again, once it's done, it'll make sense. My inverter showed up. I'm not sure if you guys saw that before. I've ordered almost everything now. The only thing I haven't ordered is my kitchen appliances, just because that's kind of the last thing I'll do. My main concern is getting the bed and electrical and the livable part done. I can always cook outside, so that's not a concern at the moment. We only have about 8 weeks to finish this, so it's all steam ahead. It's going to be real tight with where the countertop's going to go there, but the plan was to have enough room here to be able to sneak my legs in. I'm going to have to probably grab the other desk out of the workshop now and test fit that as well. So bear with me. Okay, we're back. That's the height that all the countertops are going to be. It doesn't really make sense right now, but once I start building everything, it's going to make sense. The gap here has to be here. This is going to be a seating area with legroom underneath that, when not in use, will be for storage. The goal is to be able to utilize everything for more than one use. So this seating area will be great for not only prepping food if we're not playing anything or working. We can use all that for food prep. We can use that for folding clothes, stuff like that. We wanted multiple uses for every single thing in this rig. So obviously the big storage under there. Okay, so I kind of filmed something, but it didn't really make sense. So I just wanted to do it again and explain everything. So probably a month ago, 2 months ago, I went on a trip to pick up a car for a friend of mine. And while I was away, the ambulance was stolen. It was taken from the front of our house, and basically it was found a few days later, but we weren't notified by the police. We called them several times, like, hey, have you found it? Any update? They didn't return our calls. They didn't leave us any messages or anything like that. The vehicle was found 3 days after it was stolen, and we got a letter almost 3 weeks after it was stolen saying that it was found. So no one called, no one did anything. In the meantime, we bought another car. Like, we had at the time 6 weeks until we had to be out of our apartment. So we bought a new van. There really wasn't anything we could do. We waited the 2 weeks they asked us to. And then once we found the ambulance, we basically now have 2 vans. So insurance paid us out for the damage on the ambulance, which it wasn't too bad. They just stole a bunch of tools and stuff out of the back. Basically, I bought a new ProMaster. So there's going to be a new series on the channel for the ProMaster build, which will eventually be a rental, and we will sell it in probably a year or two. I'm a huge believer of everything happens for a reason. So when this vehicle was found and we'd already bought another vehicle, that was like the world was telling us to do this rental for the second van idea that I'd already thought about doing anyway. So the ambulance is back. I've been doing a lot of work on it, so it's almost finished. I have the kitchen to do and a bunch of other stuff, as you're going to see in this video. But for the most part, a lot of it's done. You'll see all of that, but you're also going to get, like I said, a new series for the ProMaster build for people with normal vans. So it's going to be a build roam game. So once the ambulance is finished and we're living in it full time, we'll be living in it full time from next week. It won't be finished yet, but it'll be close. And then we will start the ProMaster build. The ambulance will always be our personal vehicle. We don't plan on renting that out at all until we take on our third project, which I talk about a little bit later on in the video. But the whole idea of what I was trying to do with this series was not so much show like an overview. I wanted to do a very more in depth of how to do everything. So unfortunately, this project was a bit of a rush. I did overview a lot of stuff. I can go into more detail on anything you guys want to know later on about how I did it. I don't really want to talk about how to do woodwork. Like, anyone can learn that. It's basic school woodworking. I bought a couple tools. I bought a straight edge, stuff like that, and I just went for it. So as far as like the electrical and when I get to the plumbing, I'm happy to explain all of that a little bit more in depth. And I will be doing a full drive conversion on this one. So maybe I can do an in-depth guide on that, because there's not a lot for these van conversions for the full drive system. So anything you guys do want to know, just let me know. But yeah, be sure to check out the ProMaster series, because I've already done quite a bit of work on that. I had to start it not knowing I was going to get the ambulance back, so it's already got some stuff done. So that'll be a separate video once I have enough footage for a video. Basically, the plan is to hit the road the end of the month. You're going to get this video hopefully today or tomorrow. So the goal will be, once we hit the road, then the videos will start going into the Roam channel, into the Roam playlist. But we will still do the build playlist for things like the plumbing and the accessories that I add on, and we are eventually probably going to paint it or wrap it, which I can do an in-depth guide into doing as well, since that's what I do for work. So you guys just let me know what you want. But yeah, I'm glad to have the ambulance back, and I'm actually excited for the new playlist and future playlists. So thanks. All right, 1 van, 2 vans. So we just got it back from insurance. All that's wrong, smashed in pretty much all the locks. They made a mess. They went through a fucking Wendy's drive-through, so Wendy wrappers everywhere. They took the stereo and obviously smashed in the ignition. The back doesn't look too bad. They knocked over some of my building, but really that's not too bad. They took some tools and stuff out of the back. There wasn't a lot in here though, so really we got out pretty good. So the goal is to fix all the locks, get everything sorted on it, get the immobilizer fitted, replace the ignition, and tidy it all up. Yeah, go from there, I guess. For now, she's just going to be parked for a couple of days till all the parts show up, and then we'll get it fixed. Alright, quick end of day update. I haven't filmed because we're really running out on time on getting this finished. So I had to rebuild this center cabinet, and then the countertop slash bed top on top of it. I went all the way to almost all the way to the glass, just because it gives me a little bit more elbow room and stuff if I'm working on here. And I can still fit a piece in there if I need to seal it up for nighttime or whatever. And then I built a little bed frame for the rest of the bed. Basically, I'll just put a sheet of 1/2-inch ply on top of that with some holes drilled in it for getting some air through. I got that corner wall up, so that's looking good. Just got the middle piece to do. I probably should have done that first, but oh well, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, from there, once the bed's done, I'll start doing all the electrical under there. Once the electrical is done, basically get the bed in. It'll at least be livable if we had to live in it. And then the last piece will be the kitchen, and obviously the this corner where maybe the bathroom will be. We haven't decided yet. So, little update. Like I said, I can't film too much. I'll do my best, but I'm just in a mad rush to get this done now. We have a month, so thanks. Okay, so again, I haven't filmed anything. Really on a time crunch. I've kind of got to a point now where I can slow down a little, but all the power's essentially hooked up. This is temporary. This panel's permanent, but I've still got to face this cabinet, and then this will go on top. I had to get this in so I can check everything works and all of that. Basically, back of that, all the cables are going to run along there behind the wall and up into the power cabinet. You won't see any of that. I just haven't tidied it up yet. But yeah, you get the idea. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough room to put the charge controller up higher, so it is going to cut into our garage space a little bit. It's just one of the things I'm going to have to deal with. Obviously need to tidy up all these wires and clamp them down, but we're getting there. Power's hooked up. I can turn these lights all on now. So all the lights work. They're dimmable. The fan works. Outside lights work. So now it's just a matter of hooking up the AC power, running some power points, and I've got the fuse box hooked up and the inverter. I just actually have to run the cables along here for the ones there, and then hook up the one behind me for the kitchen. And I've got the AC one ran to there, so I just need to run it up to the front wall. Tomorrow is going to be final hookup of the solar. Everything is hooked up except the solar panels. I need to go to Home Depot, grab a couple things, and then I can do the final hookup on the solar panels. Alright, so today was a little odds job to do. Tidied up a bunch of this wiring. I'm actually going to box this all out, just so it's not in the way of anything we put back here in the garage. Basically, did the solar, so that's all hooked up. We were drawing 750 watts earlier at 10 AM, so I think if the batteries are low and the solar's at full capacity, we'll get close to our 1200 watts. I haven't done any of the 110 wiring. I've wired to that panel, but I haven't wired any of the power points around the rig yet. Basically, that's going to be a job for another day. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. I have a lot of work to do in the next couple weeks, so you'll probably see this video and then you won't see anything for a little while, just because it'll be odd jobs here and there, but mostly I'll be working in the shop. The only other thing I've really done is I put a junction box on the roof that you can't see, just to feed the solar wires in, but it was definitely a Tony Stark moment.
Good to go on this end. The rest is up to you. You disconnected the transmission lines? Are we off the grid?
Stark Tower is about to become a beacon of self-sustaining clean energy.
Well, assuming the arc reactor takes over and it actually works.
I assume. Light her up.
Getting that all wired up. I can leave it on now, it's never going to die. And even once I get the computers set up with all the monitors, like they're only going to draw about 300 watts. So 700 watts on a morning is still going to charge the batteries with both computers running. Yeah, next will be finish off the bed frame. I got to fill this gap somehow until I finish what I'm putting in there. Reinforce this middle section and do my shelving on this side. Okay, so this will be the end of video 3. All I've done is just built this little shelf just to help support the bed. Those are just aluminum tubes, so I was a little worried that potentially it wouldn't hold our weight. So this little shelf will work out good. This is big enough for my skateboard, my girlfriend's skateboard, so we can slide those in there. This will just be tool storage, mostly winter clothes. This side I'm probably going to leave mostly empty. I may end up building like a little room, but I want this to be all accessible, easy. I might have like some shelves on this side or something just for little bits and pieces, but as you can see, all the electrical's done. I still have the 110 stuff to hook up, which is partly why I haven't built this out yet. But basically the reason I'm going to finish the video here, we'll get inside. So as you can see, I've done quite a bit in here. I've been working full-time and moving house right now. Essentially, we move into this vehicle in 2 weeks. So the goal is to get the back wall finished, the curtains finished, at least for these 3 windows. I did part of that wall, so you can see it goes there. I do need to build a door, so that's next on the list, is to build a door once I finish these couple of jobs. And then we move in. So we move in basically next weekend. We have the bed ready to go, we have a fridge ready to go in there. I will end up building kind of around the fridge because this is way too big for our fridge, and there'll be some storage in there for just odds and ends and clothes until we get our upper cabinets finished. But yeah, we'll be living in it. We'll start doing a couple trips. The next thing will be the kitchen, obviously. We've just ordered all the stuff for the kitchen, so as soon as that gets here, I'll start building it. I don't think that's going to take very long. We have the sink, we have the faucet, we're just waiting on the oven, and I have to order a water tank and plumbing stuff and a water pump. So once that stuff is ordered and arrives, then that'll be everything sorted for that. The biggest thing is just going to be getting in here, getting everything out of our apartment, and basically, yeah, we'll just be hitting the road in a half-finished vehicle. The reasoning is basically because it got stolen and we got it back so late. I'd already bought another vehicle, so I'm still going to build the second van. That'll have its own playlist, but that'll just be a rental. As soon as that's finished, then we will basically just rent it out for a year or two and then probably sell it. And then I've already got plans for the next project. That will be in probably 2 to 3 years time. It's going to be a lot bigger project than this, but it'll definitely be one I do a tutorial kind of playlist on. I feel like no one really does this kind of stuff, so yeah, once I get that project in a couple of years, then that's definitely going to be a big one. That's going to take probably a year or two to build, but I will keep that a secret for now because it's not finalized, and as soon as we get something in the works, then I'll let you guys know. But for now, it's just, yeah, move in, get everything sorted, and then build the kitchen and start traveling. So thanks for watching, guys. I try not to do these long ass intros, so if you've stuck around this long, hit the subscribe button for me because it really helps. Thanks.